Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. And for those of you watching from the VODs, welcome. I hope you have a fun time. Hope you enjoy the stream. As per last time, we are continuing with Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Last time we beat the boss of Brio, the Maganar, and this time we are heading to our next planet, Elysia. Hopefully to find the whereabouts of the missing hunter Gore, though. I'm personally not very optimistic about his fate, given what we've seen with Rundus. But who knows, maybe he'll be fine. Getting into the planet Elysia. Definitely a large aesthetic departure from what we've been seeing on Brio, which is kind of like Brio's sort of a mix of things, really, but kind of basic in its like standard form, kind of just like a lot of like stone ruins. But here in Elysia, it's a gas giant, which is pretty cool.
Samus,
Oh,
your highest priority is to get Skytown's Aurora unit back online.
yep.
It will help you find a way to reach the seed. We will upload its coordinates to you now. Proceed with caution. Gore's whereabouts and disposition are still unknown.
Got some nice little maintenance robots flying around. On Elysia, these are what the logbook scans look like. They're little drones that you shoot and then they pull up little scans. Creators. Data moved to logbook for review. I am Elysian, descendant of both the Chozo and the First. I am facing the last moments of my life and transferring my memory to the data pod. In a way, our chronicle begins nearly 1,500 years ago. That was when our noble creators, the Chozo, began to build that which would become our home. A place of exploration and knowledge, floating in the clouds of planet Elysia. A fitting home for its great Chozo builders. They built many linked hovering pods. In time, they formed a net in the skies across the globe. Instruments peering out in all directions, studying the cosmos. We did not exist then. Only the Chozo walked these hollowed halls. To the distant stars they looked, and a great many things they discovered, including that which would later spell grim disaster for us all. I think it's kind of fun too how, with the mentions of the Chozo, you can also see one of the Chozo artifacts from Metroid Prime 1 over in the little scan files on the side here. And the doors are, of course, very much like the Prime 1 doors, which were, of course, Chozo in design. Chozo Elder statue appears stuck. Its arm is outreached as if to accept an offering. Zipline cable. Kind of a gimmick for here in Skytown, as we will see in a second here. Made it safely across. Tinbot, lightweight android that is easily knocked down. Another scan. Elysian data doc decoded. Entry gift. Several decades passed for the Chozo here at Elysia. The harsh winds and storms began to take their toll on the station, and upkeep began to take up more and more of their precious time. Seeing a need for assistance, they created us. The first Elysian, built by Chozo hands, stepped out of the Mechanic Creek. 1,450.82 years ago. Crude by our current standards, the first was soon given the greatest gift of all by the Chozo. To better assist the creators, the first was given self-awareness. To all other Elysians, the first shared the Chozo gift. This event marks year 1 of the Elysian Reckoning. this first. And a good thing I did. Oh, I see a missile expansion. Let's grab that. Ah, shit. That guy just keeps disappearing on me. And I know that there's this little missile here, so let's just go ahead and grab that. Go through the door. If it will open. There it goes. Got a Chozo hand scanner. Works all the same. Oops. Move my water bottle. It has a weird tendency to just fall over. Gotta go around. Come on. I feel like sometimes the spring ball doesn't work as it's supposed to. Well, we see a spider ball point there, and we don't have the spider ball yet, so we'll have to come back a little bit later for that missile. Scan a couple things here, make sure there's no major scans that we're missing. Steam bots. A little bit stronger than the tin bots. But we can take them out pretty easy all the same. Can finally scan this guy, the Steam Lord, repairs fallen steam bots capable of cloaking itself. there goes the Steam Lord. And look, he was kind enough to drop an energy tank for us. Oh, are these guys a separate scan when they're not activated? Yes, they are. Discovery. The Chozo were watchers, studying the depths of space tirelessly to quench their thirst for knowledge. From this facility, they launched observation satellites, firing them into the heavens towards distant worlds. These satellites returned information that allowed them to analyze the various phenomena occurring across the cosmos. Through this process, they were able to satisfy their intellectual appetite, one planet at a time. One day, a Chozo searcher happened upon a very rare discovery. A once-thought-lost satellite discovered information on a distant world. It was incredibly far away, even by Chozo reckoning. Study of the stellar object revealed that it was, in many ways, a planet, and yet also sentient, alive. This chance event was brief, and the information being collected was lost before the true identity of the planet was revealed. Ominous. Okay, nope, elevators are fine. Oh, this has another scan now that it's... Okay, just to say it's active. Well, I'm guessing that would be the way forward, so let's see what's through here. Nothing that we can access right now. Okay. I do really like the steampunk sort of aesthetic of this whole area. I'm very much a sucker for like steampunk aesthetics in like media. Okay. Get some hints at some items we might be getting in the future. Got ourselves a save station. Let's take this elevator. Looks like we got a few phazon growths here, and oh, there's the Aurora unit. Alright, let's see if we can't figure out how to get there. Yeah, can't do anything about this yet, unfortunately. Can we get a scan of the Aurora unit, though? I'm guessing the logbook scan should be once it's purged of its virus. Scan these guys. Interesting that they're still calling the puffers here puffers as opposed to the names that they are in the 2D games, while the atomics had their names changed to reflect their names in like Super Metroid and such, as opposed to like Pulse Bamus as they're referred to in Metroid Prime 1. Oh, hello there. Found Gore's battle armor, and I believe it's also his ship. So he must be somewhere nearby. Let's check out what's over this way. Oh, okay. That's just like a little nook. Thought it looked suspicious, but no. Okay. There's a missile hidden in this room. Just based on that low droning noise. Can I get to it though? It looks like this metal slab is in the way. For now though, let's just open this up. Giving us a nice shortcut. Ooh. Actually, I don't know which one of these doors would be better to take. I think this one doesn't go anywhere that we need to, so I think I should hit this door up first. Or at least it doesn't, like it'll be a dead end. There might be like an item at the top of this elevator. Whereas I believe the other door is like the way forward. Oh. Well, it is a dead end. Not even an item up here, though. I do know what that room is for now, though, but we'll just have to see a little bit later. So for now, let's just go the other way. Well, can't do anything about that until we fix the problem with the Aurora unit. Oh. There's a logbook scan here. Entry alone. In the year 400 of Elysian Reckoning, the time for our Chozo creators to leave had arrived. To us, they entrusted the station and its purpose. We were to stand vigil and watch over the station until the time when others seeking knowledge and enlightenment arrived. With their departure came one last request from the Chozo Searcher, to continue exploring the skies for the answers to the mysterious planet. We gave her our word and resumed her tireless search. Day after day we hunted for the answers she desperately sought, but our efforts yielded nothing. We failed. Ow! That was rather rude. Okay. Well, we can check out what's that other way. I do like how in this game, when you pull up the scan visor, you can see the reflection of Samus's eyes. It's a really nice detail. In previous games, it was only when you would do like a flash of light like that. Chozo bust representing Drin, a key scientist in power suit technology. Also, with the darkness, you can see some of the veins on Samus's face have begun to course with face on, which is a really cool detail. She's starting to get a little fucked up by the phazon in her body. Another Steam Lord, but he just went and left. Looks like this room's a dead end for the time being. I thought that there was a Chozo lore scan in this room somewhere. Like there's one of those bots flying around that would give us access. I can't seem to find it. Oh well. Let's check out what's through this door. Maybe there was a way through this door over here. Perhaps I'm mistaken. Oh, yeah, it's just one of these. Lots of use of the grapple lasso for this room, I guess. Uh oh. Yeah, I can tell that, it's not in very great condition. Let's keep going. Well, Samus just keeps on walking, just like nothing happened. Can I get that scan, please? No. And I don't think you can scan while grappling like this. I think you just fall, which is kind of odd. Gotta go up here to drop all these decorations, I guess they would be, that are in the way. Anything over here to be found? No? Really hoping I could get past without activating those guys, so maybe I could get the scans for them, but...
Our scans have detected a cache of Chozo technology. Perhaps something there. Here are the coordinates.
Okay, hang on. I have it off and they still are telling me where to go. Definitely one of the things that is a little annoying. Oh, hey! Welcome back, Rain. Thanks for coming to join. I know that you're pretty busy, so I wasn't gonna ask you to, but... Thanks for coming to be here for a little bit. We're exploring Elysia, which is a Chozo an ancient Chozo settlement. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little gas giant floating up in the clouds. Not quite. The environment here is pretty different from Zebes, which is where Samus kind of grew up. Zebes is a very terrestrial planet, whereas this one is like... I think one of the scan logs said it was like over 1,000 years old. So... really wouldn't say that she would be at home here. Very different from her typical environment. Entry, Slumber. By the year 600, we of Elysia were low on critical supplies and fuel. We created smaller mechanoids to process fuel from the atmosphere of Elysia, but they proved unable to produce a sufficient supply. Unable to secure the necessary resources to sustain ourselves, we entered a state of hibernation to preserve our remaining stores of energy and parts. While we slumbered, the data collected by the station's equipment was fed to us in dreams. During this long period of sleep, we had many dreams. Countless events came to us, including a reunion with our creators, who had come to call New Planet their home. It was not long before disaster struck. A stellar object hit planet Talon 4, bringing with it a catastrophic corruption that sent the Chozo world into chaos. We watched helplessly as our creators perished, the few survivors fleeing to an unknown location. Powerless, we slept, and in our dreams we lamented the deaths of our creators. This was our final vision, after which we were never able to see our creators again. So the Chozo who were here millennia ago seem to have eventually migrated over to planet Talon 4 from the first Prime game, which I think is a cool little bit of continuity to think about. Yeah, I mean, Zebes Rain is also a Chozo planet, because she grew up with the Chozo and was raised by them. So, I understand, like, where you were coming from, even if it was, like, meant to be, like, a joke. But, like, very different cultures, it seems like, between the Chozo that lived here and the Chozo that she grew up with. There might be a connection between them, but nothing, like, firmly established. Okay, this motherfucker. Oh, maybe I can scan. Okay, no. Projectiles can't be scanned. Worth a try. Oh, this guy is so annoying. Okay. This guy is such a pain in the ass to fight. I hate it. So you can't lock onto specific targets you got actually hit. Just be okay, yeah, just a lot easier just to spam. Just because I'm so low on health, I can't go into hyper mode. No! I'm gonna crash out. I don't like that boss at all. Prime 2 has, or not Prime 2, Prime 3 actually has a lot of bosses that I actively dislike. Like, people talk about Prime 2 having hard bosses. I genuinely can't stand a lot of the bosses in Prime 3. And this is one of them. It just seems way easier at this point to just spam the normal shots rather than trying to do charge shots, which take those out in one hit. Is there even a way to destroy this? It just seems to blow up after a bit. Which is also annoying. Come on. Oh, was it stunned? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, it's much easier to just spam the normal beams rather than trying to do charge shots, I guess. Good to know for any future playthroughs, I suppose. Thank fucking god. Thanks. It's just more of an annoying boss than like a really difficult one. Like just the low targets bouncing around so much makes it hard to like get a good shot on, especially because like your shots have travel time and those are like so unpredictable. And whereas like the first two Prime games, like because they were made for the GameCube, they just rely on like you can lock on to weak points and don't have to worry about that. Whereas this game just has, like, because it was built with the Wii Remote function in mind, you can lock on but then still free aim, and they've designed bosses around that. But then the fact that your shots have travel time can make specific bosses, that one in particular, kind of annoying and frustrating. But thank God it's over then. Yeah, Prime 3 is definitely my least favorite of the trilogy. And it's mostly because of a bunch of little things that kind of annoy me. Like, some of the boss fights I find are just, like, obnoxious. Map design isn't as good or tight as, like, Prime 2, I feel like. Definitely feels like a step down, and I'll get into that later. Hyper mode being kind of like insta-win mode rather than like tool, it feels like. Just a bunch of little things that kind of add up for me with Prime 3, make it the weakest of the trilogy. Oh my god! A raid, hi! Welcome to the stream! We're playing Metroid Prime 3 in preparation for, well, Metroid Prime 4 comes out this week. I won't be playing it on launch day, because my birthday is also pretty soon, and I'm hoping I'll be getting that for my birthday, and then I will be streaming Prime 4 the next week, so it should be fun. I also streamed through Prime 1 and 2. Those are up on my YouTube channel at EmilyAsaurus. Feel free to check those out. Just the unedited VODs. Now that we have the boost ball, though, we can just kind of have fun and ram right into these guys like they're bowling pins. Always something I've found really fun to do. Alright. Let's see here. Now that we have Boost Ball, we can finally take care of this. Come on. There it goes. I don't know why that was like weirdly inconsistent. I've never had trouble with trying to do those before. let's see what's up with this Aurora unit.
Restricted and requires repair. Opening maintenance level hatch.
Got them all taken care of. Let's scan this. Nice. So wait, if you can just vaccinate the Phazon corruption, why don't we try and deliver a vaccine to like the corrupted hunters and all that? Send a vaccine to Dark Samus. Dark Samus just disappears like, oh no, but I'm pure Phazon.
I'll show you what I mean. Up there!
He's like, oh shit, I got fucked up.
The network's been severed. You have no chance of destroying the scene unless you restore the Aurora unit.
Well, so the Aurora unit's feeling better, but now I can't connect to the rest of the network here, so can't really do much. But let's go say hi to it.
What a terrible dream we were having. Thank you for purging our Phazon corruption and allowing us to awaken. There is much to do. We have communed with AU-242 on Olympus and learned that a Leviathan impacted Elysium and began spreading corruption. We must destroy this Leviathan and stem the tide of corruption as soon as possible. We have a plan, but Gore's attack severed key communication cables, disrupting our access to Skytown's primary network. This prevents us from controlling Skytown and executing our plan to destroy the Leviathan. Gore's plasma cannon should be able to fuse together the severed cables. We must ask you to hunt him down. Gore may have changed, Samus. Be prepared to deal with that. Good luck.
What? I thought he was the same. I mean, he seemed fine when we were down there. He definitely didn't try and shoot at us and hurt us. Okay. Definitely 100% the same as always. I mean, you know what they say, just like just silly old Gore. genuinely how like some people talk about like boys with like horrible toxic masculinity issues when like they start saying like some scary shit, and it's just like, oh, but they're just a boy, like that's just how they are. It's just like, yeah, okay. Maybe let's not talk about the massive red flags at play here. Boys will be boys.
Ship status alert. Unknown entity approaching. Commencing hull lockdown.
Uh-oh. Did I get the scan? Yes, I did. Bless me. Okay. Gotta go that way. See, this time it's not having any issues. Oh. Shut my dumb fucking mouth, I guess. Okay, there it goes. So I don't know what happened with the other one. Anyways, year 2007, we're still not out of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater era, so of course we still gotta have a half pipe. I wonder if Prime 4 is gonna still continue the tradition of having half pipes and with the boost ball. Honestly, boost ball is one of my favorite items though, so I wouldn't even complain. I'd just be like, hell yeah. I believe this opens up like a shortcut. Cause, yeah. So that lets me skip having to go back on those little rails. Which is a nice convenience at the very least. Because for as aesthetically pleasing as I find this whole area to be, I also find it to be a little bit tedious to navigate, just because of like the long rails that you gotta take, like every time you want to travel from like island to island. Can add up when you're like going back and forth between locations, I feel. What would happen if one of those was just like very slightly not calibrated and it just like launched Samus into the abyss? Like with how old this all is, you'd think Some of them might
Ship priority
be
status alert.
uncalibrated.
Hull armor taking damage.
Alright. What the hell just hit me? Oh, one of these. Ah! If I just spam fire, it'll be fine.
Ship priority status alert. Warning. Hull integrity is compromised. Armor damage is critical.
That's not very good. Let's get back there as soon as we can. Oh, hi!
Just in time. Cat!
Yeet.
Don't you feel the power? Soon everything will be corrupted, including you.
Morphology Gore. Shield repels all weapon fire, powered by a unit on his back. Gore's energy shield is capable of repelling all weapon fire, but the back-mounted generator is exposed to attack. Overloading the generator could expose the well-protected critical systems behind his battle armor. Gore's arsenal is considerable. Plasma-based beam weapons, attack flaws, and multi-missile systems are at the cyborg's dispersal in battle. These battle systems can be combined and fired at once as a devastating alpha strike. Target is also capable of a high-speed ramming attack, although this is potentially dangerous if performed over a slippery surface. So that's our hint that you can freeze little bits of field gel that are over the ground here and then make him slip, exposing his back, which then allows us to damage his front. Oop. Not what I meant to freeze. Shoot my missile for that. Generator. Okay, he got rid of all the field gel. Changing his strategy, let's scan him again. Lower target appears to be connected to Gore's main CPU, vulnerable to ground attacks. don't we just go into Morph Ball and put a bomb on that little, I don't know what it'd be, target, basically. Once again, exposing him. I think you can also boost roll. Yeah. So it doesn't need to exclusively be bombs. Oh, looks like he went into hyper mode now. Gore can now enter hyper mode to increase his offensive capabilities, susceptible to phase on energy. So no choice for us but to match him in hyper mode. Damn. Gunship has been damaged, unable to fly in its current state. Auto repair functions initiated. So it looks like we'll just have to wait a little bit before we're able to get back in the ship again, so we might as well go around and find some new things to do around Elysia. I do think it's like a really nice attention to detail, though, how they show Samus like actually caring about the other bounty hunters when they die. Like what you saw with Gore, how she was trying to shoot Dark Samus. And then kind of doing the Arthur Fist meme, but a little more genuine. Elysian Shriekbats, mechanical variant of a Shriekbat that will explode on that. Also, Rain, if you haven't already, I think you should go back and watch part 1, seeing as you missed the Rundus battle, but the boss theme is extremely, extremely good. Also, the whole, like, boss fight is very good, too. It's kind of jarring how, like, good Rundus's boss theme is, and then Gore's boss theme is kind of meh. And then, like, spoilers, Gendrada she has a really good theme too. You do hear it for like a second when you're still in the intro part of the game, when like she's like disguising herself as the pirate. Like that's a pretty good song too. So it's funny how like Gore just kind of is the odd one out with kind of just like the most forgettable theme. Oh, I think these are now different. No signal is being received. Oh, and now I can melt these. And I think this is the Aurora unit room, yeah? Well, the little sky island. Alright, yeah. You mentioned a second ago we can go over and restore the AU. Which indeed we can. We use the plasma beam, and then we start welding. Which miraculously makes all the circuits work. Shocked it doesn't short circuit them. Yeah. Video game logic though. Just like how I'm like shocked that like when flying in space, like none of the parts of like the spaceships like have any issues with like cold welding. Do you know about cold welding, Rain? Yeah, so basically, metal, on Earth we don't have this issue because the surface oxidizes, because of atmosphere. And so, you know, when you put two pieces of metal in contact with one another, they don't, like, they just touch each other. But in space, where there isn't oxygen, and so the surface of the metal doesn't oxidize, what can happen is the atoms of those two pieces of metal fuse together and become essentially one piece of metal. Because chemistry, I guess. Yeah, which is a real issue that like NASA has to deal with. I believe there was like a not a satellite, but like a probe that we sent out once. That we had like the plan of like having the wing, the not the wings, the solar wind sort of sail unfold. But because of cold welding, it failed to unfold properly, so it just like got stuck in a position, which was a real issue. And I'm sure there's other examples, but that's the first one that comes to my mind.
We must first disable the Leviathan's protective shield. Unfortunately, the generator for this shield is hidden beneath the dense clouds of Elysia, and so is impossible to reach directly.
So metal is really like Play-Doh, but the atmosphere stops it from working as such? Yeah, basically. Like, the atoms in two pieces of metal, like, there's nothing that, like, makes them recognize each other to anthropomorphize it a little bit. But to recognize each other as, like, two separate pieces of metal. So, like, when they're in direct contact, they just act like one piece of metal. But what prevents that is when there's, like, other bits there, like, oxidated. Well, for example, iron, which acts as a barrier between those two pieces, preventing them from fusing.
As an alternative to destroying the generator, we have calculated that a massive thermonuclear explosion would likely destroy the shield itself.
Oh! Okay, well, I guess we're going to be dropping a nuclear bomb on the shield.
This facility possesses the components to create such a device. We would like you to build this device and drop it on the Leviathan shield.
Metroidheimer.
Unfortunately, the components are too large for you to lift unaided. You will need assistance to move and assemble them. There is a Federation landing site far to the east of Skytown. You will be able to find something to help you there. We will upload the current map data of this area to your suit. This should help you get started. Good luck, Samus.
I think I already found that area, and I was just unable to access it because the Aurora unit wasn't online yet. Yep. Also, I haven't mentioned yet, but unlike in Prime 1 and 2, where your beams act as like separate beams,
Ship status
Prime 3
update.
takes
Functions complete.
after the 2D games, where the different beams are now stacked, so we don't have to worry about switching which beams we're using. Which can be either a benefit or a drawback depending on how you view it. It's just kind of like a, oh, interesting little tidbit.
Samus, perhaps what you require to access the Federation landing site in the east is not on this planet. The item you need may reside on a world you have previously visited.
Well, at least this game doesn't do what Prime 2 did and just leave you to figure out that you need to leave the area. On the other hand, the game telling you that you might need to go to a whole different planet is extremely funny. Like, wow. It's so cool. finally was able to get that upgrade, which we now know is a ship missile and not just a regular missile. I mean, I love backtracking in Metroid games, but I don't love it when it stops your every little bit of motion and it tells you to go
The security lock
all the way back
on this land.
to a different area. Like,
This was surely a result of Gore's
I like it more when it's continues your forward momentum and like it feels like
allowing you to command your
oh,
ships
I got this thing, I can go back there now and use it and see what this is. I feel like the two instances of Prime 2 doing it, where you leave the whole area, kind of felt unnatural and thus kind of annoying. And the instances of Prime 3 doing the same thing are the same thing here, where it's just the game outright has to tell you to leave the planet. At least there's a place to enter our ship right here, though. So we go to the fiery air dock. And as Rundus passed through that area before, freezing a bunch of things along the way, we can at least get a few new items while we're exploring back on Brio. Now that we have the plasma beam. Can see Rundus's ship again. Break these bits of ice, allowing us to get into here. Ow. Can get some more lore from Brio here. Entry Prophecy. As time slowly passed, I grew old. Even the combined power of magic and science couldn't cheat death forever. In order to preserve Brio's environment, I would need a successor. Finding one was a daunting task, for most of the folk saw me as a monster. Time passed quickly as I searched, and my efforts appeared to be in vain. Seemingly by chance, I found a young primal wandering the wastelands and rescued her. But this was not a chance encounter. She was a prophetess, tirelessly searching for the last Lord of Science to speak to her about her visions. In her dreams, she saw starborn death coming to Brio, and with her vision came a plea to save her world. Based on her information, I began work on improvising the existing decontamination equipment to help prepare a defense for Brio against the eventual catastrophe. Well, it seems like that catastrophe didn't go so well for Brio. His plans to negate it. I like scanning like all the little busts here, or I guess not quite busts, but like the statues, telling you like the names of like the different emperors in the Brionian history. It's just kind of neat. Finally melt this. Allowing us to check out what's through here. Ceremonial golem appears deteriorated but still functional. Concussive blast may activate it. Oh, I think that little opening was what I needed. I just needed to let it sit there. Yeah. Okay. Now we do this again. Breaking open the wall. which takes us to a whole new part of the entire planet. As we can see, we landed over here, and now we are way over here, which I think is kind of a fun detail, because in reading like the logbooks about Brio, you learn that Brio is a tidally locked planet with its star. So this half would be the half that's perpetually facing its star, thus causing it to become superheated. While this half would be the half that is facing away, causing it to become frigid and cold, while this whole middle section would be the only, like, safe haven for life. Which I think is a fun little sci-fi detail, based on something that would really happen. Oh hey, some more lore. Our plea. Sadly, disaster came to us. Before we could finish our work, an accident caused our supply of field gel to explode, sending fire to the sky and exposing our position. It was not long before a primal war band saw the great fire and rushed to attack. Without a way to power my great Moganars, I had no way to defend myself from their assault. Fleeing would only drive them to pursue us to no end, and they would show no mercy to either one of us once caught. I had no other choice except to stand my ground while the prophetess fled to safety. With her, I sent my records of the past, in hopes they would both find sanctuary. You now read my last words, etched in stone and placed by the prophetess. We speak to you from beyond the grave, the world with you. Save our world from the star-born plague. Lift the veil of hate from the eyes of our people. May our remaining relics serve you well in this struggle. Oh. Clearly can't get a good signal with the Aurora unit from here. Statue representing the first reptilian emperor to receive the gift brought forth by the Chozo. Statue represents De La and the first Chozo gift of knowledge bestowed upon the Reptilicus. Of course, it's the screw attack. It makes sense. The screw attack is the Chozo creation. Presumably, the screw attack in Prime 2 was obtained by the Luminoth through their meeting with the Chozo as well. And just like in Prime 2, we can wall jump with the screw attack. Located on the head is a nice low ship missile upgrade. Can I scan these? No. Okay. That part's fun. And now I can take the teleportal back to the fiery half of Brio. I think I can just take the elevator down now.
Samus. Samus, are you there? We have been trying to reach you. Is everything alright? There are some important new findings. A reconnaissance probe has discovered the location of the missing flagship Valhalla. As I am sure you are aware, this vessel was attacked by pirates. We request that you investigate the Valhalla for any information about the pirates and their master plan. We will upload the coordinates to you now.
Samus, are you there? We've been trying to reach you about your gunship's extended warranty. But yeah, we can now visit a side location, the missing ship Valhalla. I only just put together that the flagships are kind of both named after, like, the one is the Olympus and the other is Valhalla, and Olympus is, like, you know, the pantheon of Greek gods, and then Valhalla is the Nordic gods, like, all that stuff. It's like, oh, I only just put all that together just now. Sometimes I'm not very observant, but oh well. Alright. Let's leave this planet. Did the Roman gods have a pantheon? They kind of just stole the Greek ones. And then gave them slightly different names, but used the same mythology. And then eventually they abandoned the Greek mythology in favor of the Christian mythology. And yeah, I don't think there's like an equivalent to like a pantheon for a monotheologic religion. The GFS Jesus. Oh shit. Alright. Now we can finally do this. Wait, I should scan this because it's red. Oh, okay. It's just the pressure plate. Oh, that counts as its own scan. Now I'm thinking about like the names of the different ships in the Galactic Federation. I think in Federation Force, one of the ships is like called like something Aegis. I don't think it would be a flagship, but now I feel like I gotta check the wiki. Oh, yeah, no, it totally is like one of the flagships in Federation Force, the GFS Aegis. That kind of breaks from the tradition then, because while Olympus and Valhalla are both kind of like pantheons in a sense, Aegis, that's just the name of Athena's shield. Ooh, there's some other ones. Oh, but not all of them are like flagships. They all just kind of have like the GFS to stand for Galactic Federation ship, I think. Right, the one from Prime 2, the smaller ship, is called Enhur? And then there's a frigate ship that you can find on planet Norian in this game called the GFS Enkaidu. I saw the GFS Theseus over on Brio. Oh, I guess the... Huh. Okay, the ship in Prime 2 is actually called the Tyr, but it's an Anhur class patrol ship? Anyway. I know what some of those be referencing, but not sure for all of them. Like Theseus, that's a guy in Greek mythology. Obviously, there's the ship of Theseus, which is classic. sort of philosophical conundrum about if you replace all the parts in a ship, is it really the same ship anymore? That kind of thing. I'm not sure what tier, spelled T-Y-R, is in reference to. Neither do I know what the term Endor, which I guess is only just the ship from Prime 2's opening cutscene, and is not like the actual ship that you find in Prime 2, which is weirdly confusing. I already forgot what the other one's name was. Enkaidu? It was like E-N-K-I-D-U, I think? I'm sure Prime 4 will have like some Federation things that pull from various mythologies and stuff too. It'd be definitely interesting if like they pulled a little bit more from like non-European mythologies. I mean, maybe they already do a little bit with some of the ones I'm not familiar with, but considering like the humans in the Galactic Federation like are implied just to be from Earth. Because we know that Samus was born on an Earth colony. Planet K2L. So she's inevitably like descended from people of Earth and then taken up by the Chozo, given their like genetic information and all that stuff. Hear the drone of an item nearby. I don't think it's... Oh, here's another one. Right. There's another spider ball track. Got ourselves some more space pirates to deal with. Nowhere else to go but down. Oh, it looks like we got some more stuff that needs to be repaired. Ow! That was rude. And not the character from Final Fantasy VII. I don't think I can get that one yet. Despite how deceptively easy it looks like it would be. Because I believe last playthrough I did try and get that at this point, and then failed miserably. That elevator was jammed. Got some more phase on. Electromagnetic cradle arm is extended and energized. Sever power cables to retract. Eronian transport module capable of transporting highly volatile containment units. Another logbook scan over here. Federation. Time passed slowly as we suffered through our bad dreams. We endured their visions until finally, in year 1435, our automated defense systems were triggered. A number of aliens, well armed and armored, had penetrated our battle screens and entered Elysian Station. Per protocol, we were revived from stasis to defend our home. As we mustered for battle, the aliens communicated with us and declared themselves to be under the banner of peace. A truce was called, and soon we began negotiations with the Galactic Federation. The Treaty of Elysia began a new era of prosperity for us. Bowling. Cool. Let's open that up. Land our ship. Then give it the brand new item for our gunship. Gunship upgrade complete. New grapple system added. Ship grapple beam is online.
Samus, now that you have the ship grapple, you should be able to assemble the Theronian bomb. We will upload the coordinates to all 3 bomb components to you now.
Cool. I'm gonna take a save real quick. And I saw the first part I needed pretty close by, so I'm gonna go get that, and then I believe once I start grappling, I'm not able to land the ship again, so I'll have to manually get to each part until we get to the point. Okay. Unable to be repaired. Guess we'll just have to find a way up there a different way. Okay. Here's where we can get this missile. Because this pirate gunship is just like being spiteful and destroying the platforms for no apparent reason other than to be a little asshole. Okay. Get it mid screw attack, and then when we land we get the mission expansion acquired. Where are we at? We're at 36 out of 100. Okay. Can we do this? Let's weld this back together. Okay, we gotta drop that back on. And now we can power it up. From a gameplay perspective, those cuts make a lot of sense, but from a narrative perspective, why is that group so curvy? Why not just cut it a bunch more by that point? I mean, there's not really a separation from gameplay and narrative in this case, or in really any case, because, like, any experience you're going through is, like, a narrative experience. So, I mean, I don't know. And, like, narrative isn't just, like, you know, the things that happen, or, like, purely, like, the logical continuity of, like, a story, right? It's, like, the emotional elements. You know, not so much the how, but sometimes, like, the, you know, emotionally, what purpose does this serve, type of thing. Sculpture represents the searcher who once studied the cosmos from here centuries ago. Is there any way for me to access? Oh, right here. Because I know the one I need Spider Ball for, but some of these I know I can access right now. True, I just figured whoever was cutting those panels was really taking their time to make cuts. Hard to fix, but they could have cut a bunch more across the panel when it would have been virtually impossible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's not really something I'm concerned with. Like, it doesn't impact the narrative much at all for me. Just a nitpick. I'm not even sure if I would consider it that much. Satellite Locations has downloaded additional map data for Brio. Suit expansion locations revealed. So yeah, I haven't been commenting on this. Unlike Prime 1 and 2, Prime 3 gives you an option, and this is optional, but to give you the locations of all the items in the game. And as you can see, there are some more that we'll be able to access once we obtain Spider Ball. So they don't all open up at once, which makes sense because we haven't visited every area yet. But it is very, very appreciated. Scans here, because I believe this one is for Planet Elysia, Planet Brio, Planet Norian. Okay, I have to activate them first to get the rest of the scans. But it's pretty cool. This is the Chozo's planetarium, which has been mentioned in a couple of the scans about how they found a strange sentient planet. Cerealic tree is bioengineered plant form created by the Chozo, often planted on other planets. This is a fun little detail. If you go back to Prime 1, you'll notice the same tree is there on Talon 4, so just like the scan indicated, the Chozo brought this tree to that planet as well and planted it as a sort of symbolic gesture. Let's try and get that missile upgrade. We screw attack from a high ledge over here. Damn it. Missile-lined myself over so slightly. And then come this way, and then line myself up, and screw attack. And yet another missile expansion acquired. I already forgot what I was at. 37 out of 100, so we're over a third of the way there now. And just like Prime 1 and 2, I am going after 100% for this game. Oh, another scan. At least 100% of item pickups. Not necessarily all the scans, but for sure trying to get all the lore ones. Entry Aurora. Aurora was placed within one of our floating pods and connected into the station's network. This connection allowed Aurora to control not only the facility, but us as well. Our link allowed us to reap the benefits of the Aurora's own connection to the Federation's Aurora network. The units were capable of communicating with one another regardless of the distance, and vast amounts of information were passed down to us. As the years went by, we aided the Aurora and our Federation allies in their research. We studied potential enemy threats and collected data on their activities. It was, in some small way, a meaning to atone for our inability to help our creators years ago. Through our alliance with the Federation, we were able to prevent many disasters and bring an end to numerous threats in the cosmos. We are not certain if that was what our creators would have wished to happen, but it was certainly a peaceful life. Another Berserker Lord, just like from the beginning of the game. Hopefully he'll be easier to take out than he was at the beginning. With our upgraded arsenal and all. Oh. Knowing that this thing was in the way prevented one of those projectiles from hitting the target. Finally got that exposed, and now from here it should be easy. Which indeed it was. Okay. Unlock all of these spinner locks. I was about to say, wow, it's awfully convenient that like everything happens to be compatible with Samus's morph ball technology, but then I realized, oh, but this is the Chozo station who made Samus's suit and the morph ball, so actually it's not very convenient. That's just kind of how that works. And now that that is unlocked, we can finally use our gunship to grapple onto this. Which will be acting sort of as a central shaft for the bomb that we're gonna build in the video game. Gears are strictly decoration. Damn it. Okay, gotta go when that's up. Oh, I can scan this. It's like, yep, there's another one of these circuits that needs to be welded. I believe that's a shortcut back to an earlier room, so I'll want to take this door to proceed forward. Took him out. Nicely timed. I didn't think I was gonna make that. And we go through this door. Oh, hello. Oh. Bioscan complete. Bioform's energy was completely drained. Only a brittle husk remains. Scans indicate the target's death was caused by severe trauma sustained to cranial region. Bioform's body has sustained multiple puncture wounds, phazon detected around these areas. Spinal column was severed, subject paralyzed and unable to defend while being attacked. Bioform's skull has sustained multiple fractures from repeated forceful impacts on all sides. Subject appears to have been trying to force something off itself at the time of death. Bioscan complete. Numerous back wounds indicate the target was fleeing before being attacked. Target's cause of death identified to be multiple self-inflicted assault rifle shots. I think I know what happened here. Actually, I do know because I played this game before, but even if I didn't, I can deduce what all happened here. All life force energy has been siphoned. Scans estimate time of death to be 2.34 hours ago. Bioform appears to have been crippled during combat, unable to reach safety before termination. Severe trauma sustained to all appendages, suggesting Bioform was killed by multiple attackers. Assault rifle wounds from friendly unit as the cause of death. Morphology unknown. Cell tissue has begun dissolving due to various experiments. Morphology unknown. Mutated specimen appears similar to parasitic talon for bioforms. Yeah, it's definitely very similar to the parasite queen and other, like, sort of experimental corpses we saw littered about the frigate Orpheon back in Prime 1. Pod's power source is keeping the unit energy barrier active. So no matter what we try, we can't break into that to get the item yet. Would you look at that? Looks like Metroids were responsible for what happened here. Just as I figured. And knew. But also figured. Sorry, taking a sip of water. Thankfully, the Metroids seem to be locked up now, so we don't have to worry about that for at least the time being, but definitely have a bad feeling. Oh, I can scan these little guys. In theory. If it will lock on. There we go. Okay. those. Got 2 energy cells. With the barrier down, we can finally break into these, but that also means that the Metroids are free to escape. But hey, we got the Seeker Missiles, which are an item that I quite love. Yep, here comes all the eerie music. Damn. Phase on Metroid can phase out of local time-space. Vulnerable to extreme cold. So as the name kind of suggests, these are Metroids that are heavily mutated with Phazon. Not dissimilar to what happened to Metroid Prime. Or even the Talon Metroids, but these ones are mutated further. Thankfully the elevators still seem to be online. Can't use that anymore to change the door, so we gotta go through this way. Open that door up with the Seeker Missiles. Damn. These bitches are really just saying, fuck you. There's that one. Ah! them just before they attack. It seems like it can consistently freeze them. Wasn't there an energy tank in one of these first ones, or is it in a different room? Oh, it's right here. Don't have very many missiles to use against this guy, so let's hope he drops some. Nope. Of course not. Right. Oh, and the phase-on Metroids are out. But again, with the low count of missiles at my access, I'm just gonna try and move right past them. Get a new scan though. Entry loss. Chat, is this loss? It's approximately 5 months ago that our systems detected a meteor-like object collide with a planet in a nearby galaxy. The impact was followed by a spreading corruption, identical to the one we saw devour our creator's planet. More so than ever, we were determined to aid the Aurora and discover the source of these objects. Months passed before we could uncover its origin. It had come through a wormhole from an incredibly distant planet. We studied this link between the Terran space and the location it was connected to. As we delved deeper, it became clear to us that the mysterious planet the Chozo searcher had been seeking. The living planet was aggressively attacking other worlds, hurtling parts of itself across the cosmos like missiles. We had finally discovered the source of these corrupted meteors. It was about 1 month ago that we made our revelation, but all attempts at transmitting the critical data to the Federation were unsuccessful, and it appeared that the Aurora unit had become disabled. We tried desperately to restore the Aurora, but it had been corrupted by an unknown virus. Our only means of communication with the Federation was severed. So there we have our confirmation that the Leviathans and the meteor from Prime 1, at least, are one and the same. Here's one of the bits of the bomb. And I see a little missile. That should be right here. You can disable these locks by using our brand new Seeker missiles. So that's one lockdown. This lock has to be disabled from down below. And then the third lock, also from down below. Hello. There it goes. And now, using that first bit that we picked up, we can use it to grab this first section of the bomb. Thankfully, we didn't need that shortcut that we opened up earlier. Also very thankful that the game seems to be giving me lots and lots of extra missiles to refill all the ones that I had to use in the previous section. Okay. Next up, I believe the last bomb segment is over here, so I can get that by going back to visit where the Aurora unit was located. Don't need to talk to the Aurora unit though. Oh, I can melt these. Is there gonna be some secret for doing that? Not really. Just some extra containers allowing me to stock up on missiles. Alright. I'm gonna take the save over here. And we are making a lot faster progress than I honestly expected us to. I feel like on my previous playthroughs, I kind of struggle navigating this whole area because of the very similar looking rooms that are scattered all throughout. And I end up making lots of wrong turns and all that. But thankfully that's not what happened this time. I guess after enough playthroughs you kind of get it figured out eventually. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. And doing that grants us access to this last segment of the bomb. Once again, letting us pick it up with the gunship.
Excellent work, Samus. The Theronian bomb is complete. We are now ready to execute the final stage of our plan. Place the bomb in the cargo hold of the Spire pod. We will mark the Spire location on your map. Please hurry. There is no time to lose.
Small ship, huge carrying capacity. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, like, damn, that's a strong ship. And then I started thinking about, like, damn, Samus has, like, a lot of ships throughout this series. Like, you got her classic one, seen in, like, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Metroid Prime 2, and others in the intro to Fusion. It's kind of the round one. Then you've got her Prime 1 ship, which is also featured in Prime Hunters. And then there's her Prime 3 ship, of which there seems to be at least an iteration of it in Prime 4. It has like the same build, but opens up the different way. Opens up from the top as opposed to how in Prime 3 the ship opens from the bottom. So it might just be a modified version of the ship. Don't know. But either way. And then in Fusion and Dread, she has another ship, which she gets that one because her main ship kind of blows up in the intro of Fusion. And it just kind of got me thinking, like, wait, what happened to all her other ships, though? Could she not have taken just, like, her Prime 3 ship after her, classic ship went kaboom? I don't know. Just kind of a funny thought. We need the deep lore to find out what happened to Samus's other ships. What happened after Prime 3 to make Samus go, well, Can't use this ship anymore. And so we gently place it into this little container.
Samus, now that the bomb is in place, return to the AU chamber so that we may discuss the final stage of our plan.
Okay. I mean, you could have told me the final stage of the plan while I was in there, so that I wouldn't have to drop it and then come back, but... Something fishy sounds afoot? What do you mean by that?
The Theronium bomb is primed and ready. Excellent work, Samus. To drop the bomb onto the Leviathan shield, you must move the bomb pod directly over the Leviathan and shut down the pod's engine. This must be done manually. This is a dangerous mission. Will you accept it? We
No.
understand your need to
Yeah, we're destroying the shield, remember? We're basically using that little pod as like a way to transport the bomb remotely and drop it.
Initiating Skytown migration. We will move the Skytown facility as close as possible to the Leviathan shield, and then deploy the bomb pod. Do you understand what you are supposed to do, sir? After shutting off the engines, use the escape capsule to return here.
Skytown migration complete.
We must now proceed to the bomb pod. We will release the cables once you are in position. We regret this mission places you in mortal danger, but there are no other options. Good luck.
I guess another way they could have done this segment is like they could have made it so like you fly in the ship and drop the bomb, but that raises the question of how do you get in the ship when there's a bomb underneath it. Still, it could have been like a fun like segment being able to fly the ship and use like your stuff for once, but unfortunately, despite the heavy involvement of the ship in this game, there's no segments where you get to actually fly the ship. You forgot what the bomb was for, so you thought they were gonna blow up Skytown with you trapped in here. No, that's not quite what they're doing. So we gotta get to that Leviathan secret.
Samus, we are sensing a large number of enemy units in your vicinity. The pirates must have detected your movement toward the seed. If the spire is destroyed before reaching the impact site, all hope for Elysia is lost. You must defend the spire at all costs. Use everything in your power to ensure its safe passage. Good luck, Samus.
Alright. Have a little segment where we gotta protect the ship from... Or, not the ship, the, structure from blowing up. I guess it kind of is a ship, in a sense. Okay, this is gonna be easier if I just use hyper mode. So when I see the pirate ships, gotta make sure I just go into hyper mode to save myself some time and effort. Oh, there's another pirate ship. Oh, okay, there must be another ship somewhere. There it is. I think this is a different ship that I have to scan, yeah. Oh, and there's yet another ship. Try and get some health back so that we can go back to hyper mode when we're ready to. Where is that? There it is. And that's the rest of them. Deactivate all of these.
Engine override initiated. Deploying emergency escape pod.
The planet really cleared up there. Yeah, the weather was just very convenient for us.
Commencing. 5 minutes until engine shutdown. Escape pod malfunction. Opening repair access tunnel.
Uh-oh. Okay, we gotta go soon. Oh, anyone other than Samus would have been fucked here, huh? Escape pod. Repair thing. Oh, sorry, you had to be able to go small. How do I
Engine
get
shutdown in 4 minutes.
Okay, just. There we go.
Escape pod online.
Go, 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 go. Come on.
Engine shutdown in 3 minutes.
Escape. Come on. No time for Wii Remote shenanigans. We went Wii on the Nintendo Wii. Also, yeah, that's what this one room was for earlier, where I came in here and then it was just a dead end, didn't know what it was for. It's where the escape pod lands after the fact.
The plan worked. The bomb's impact resulted in the destruction of the Leviathan shield, and the seed is now exposed. Fly there and destroy it.
And now finally, at last, we can go take care of this second Leviathan seed. scan the bugs. Phazon Leech. Okay. Use the Seeker missiles and then go kaboom. And then go into hyper mode. Come on. And for the Guardian of the Leviathan Seed of Elysia, we find a being called Helios. Helios is using the swarm bots to form fast-moving ball of energy, avoid contact with the sphere. There it goes. Helios's exterior armor is well shielded, but still vulnerable to beam weaponry. Inflicting enough damage will cause him to overheat and expose his Phazon enhanced core. This core can be overloaded with Phazon-based energy. Destruction of the core unit should prove fatal, but is difficult to achieve. Target is the prime bot of a large group of swarm bots, all of which are energized by Phazon. Helios will use the swarm bots for both offensive and defensive measures, assuming different formations will allow for various forms of attack. Do the bots have a separate scan? Doesn't seem like that. Gotta take out the surrounding bots so that we can make gaps in the shield. Does each form have it does have a different scan for each form. To attack, and then there we go. Now, once it's... Oh, actually, I need a scan first. Ow. a little slow. Partially because I had to take a second to get a scan in, but that's okay. He's going bowling again. Okay, still got that one. Much smoother that time. Going on into this mode. Hit him with lots of phase on. Spend the rest of this phase on it. Oh, that's a new form. Can't lock on with secret missiles, interestingly. If I go for the leg joints, I believe I can topple them pretty quickly. Yeah. Ow. Oh, he's a tornado. He's doing this one bit. Back to the humanoid form. And that's it. Helios is defeated. Corruption within Samus once again expands, though, at the cost of all that. And I really do like how you can visually see that corruption change how she externally looks. Like, her suit is noticeably a lot more blue than it was at the very beginning of the game, and I think that's a really cool detail. By the end of the game, the way her suit looks is definitely the coolest looking version of this suit, I feel. Whereas at the beginning, I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. Use our new hyper missiles, which are kind of the replacement for super missiles in this game. Only usable with hyper mode.
Elysia is now free of further corruption, Samus. Both Leviathans have been removed from Federation space. You have once again performed admirably. However, the threat is not over. We received word from a reconnaissance unit that an emergency GF communication capsule has been found. Analysis has uncovered a message from Gandreda, sent while she was searching for the pirate homeworld. This is her last message right before she disappeared. To our surprise, the message indicates that a Leviathan has also impacted the pirate homeworld, which suggests that pirates are now enhancing their military forces through Phazon. Worse, the corruption appears to be spreading very quickly. It's as if the planet itself is transforming into pure Phazon.
That's not very good.
Left unchecked, this corruption could spread to the entire galaxy. The time to act is now. You must destroy that Leviathan and stop the spread of further corruption. To that end, the Federation is planning a full-scale assault on the pirate homeworld. The attack will commence as soon as our preparations are complete. We have marked the location of the pirate homeworld on your map. And Samus, be on the lookout for Andrea.
Damn. Well, guess we'll just have to get to that for the next part. I think what I'm gonna do for today is take a little break at least. I still have some energy in me and some time, so I think I might pick up after a little while. I just need to make sure I get some food. And anyone watching, I advise you take a break now too. And I'll be back in, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. Alright. Sounds good. I'll see everyone then.